Well, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, since it's 1 in the afternoon. I just finished cleaning my entire apartment. It took an hour or so. And before that, I rode a spin bike for 3.5 hours. And that's what I've done so far today. I interviewed my grandmother yesterday, as I said, about the lifespan interview. And things went very well, in my opinion. She talked about her childhood and how it was growing up and having parents that are 45 years older than you. She was adopted, by the way. So, not having any siblings, being all alone. But she had a lot of cousins. And how it was growing up in the 1950s, when there still were very clear gender divides between boys and girls. She had a lot of cousins though, since her father had 12 siblings. And she enjoyed being with them, and she loved cats even back then. And she had cats at home. And her cousins were envious because they were not allowed to have cats. She also talked about how her dad would come and collect her and her cousins on his old Ford Model T and put them on the back and drive them all the way to the sea so they could go bathing in the ocean. And one time he even drove them to Tivoli in Denmark, in Copenhagen. It was different times back then. She talked about school and how they added another year. The same year she would have finished school, so she had to go one more year. And she was finished when she was 15. And when she was 15, she started working in a shop that sold clothing and textiles. And she talked about that and how she learned that she had a biological sister when she was in 16, and how she got to meet her. The biological sister was 12 years older, and when she was in the area where her biological sister was, she met her future husband at a dance. And she was married a few months before she had my father. And in 1970 she took a license for driving a taxi. And then she worked with that for many years while raising my father and his brother. And then she took one so she could drive a bus as well in 1980. She got divorced in 1986. And she moved away from the only home that she'd ever lived in then. and how her sons preferred to live with her father rather than her, and how lonely she was for a time, and then how she discovered her other sister, biological sister. And moving in with another man who was an alcoholic, and the relationship that they had that eventually failed. And raising me partly because my parents really didn't have the possibility to raise me and my siblings all the time, so my grandmother helped out a lot. And how it was to run her own company, because she did that for a while. And then what it was like to retire when she was 65, and how she started traveling a lot in her 60s, and how she looks in the future because her parents, when her parents died, and her brother is dying, and her best friend has got dementia, and how it is to grow old and feeling your body getting weaker and weaker, and all that. I mean, it was a very giving interview. She was very open, and things went very well. And how she wants to die at one time. She wants to go quickly rather than to sit in a nursing home and slowly fade away. And how she wishes for all her two children and me and my siblings to have good health and everything. And that's pretty much my grandmother's life. We had a period for over 1 year, a year and a half almost, when we didn't talk because of disputes regarding me not believing that she cared, and that she ignored my special needs because I had Asperger's, and how she called it a disease and everything, and that made me very upset. And I think that she has learned a lot in the time span where we didn't talk, but we started up contact again this summer, and since then things have been well between us. I mean, I've always been very fond of my grandmother, paternal grandmother. My maternal, nope. She's never been there, and my mother has fought a lot with her. And yeah, the same. But I'm also picking up contact with my maternal grandfather, whom I didn't know until I was about 15, because my mother didn't talk with him either. My mother has a lot of issues. which is why I don't talk with her anymore. And I believe it's for the best, because my relationship with her these last few years has really hurt me. I mean, she's the main reason why I'm not able to study at the moment. Everything she did that hurt me so bad. And how she lied and everything. I acted like a complete stranger rather than a mother. How she ignored my gender dysphoria and said that I deserved to be burned for being as I am. And that was very harsh for me to hear. And I've always thought that she was the I don't want to talk to, because my dad, yeah, he is a special case, you can say. That's not good. Here, here, here. Some here. Let's see how this goes, because the line of mascara left was fairly thick. This will give a very gray undertone. As you can see, I have this huge gray spot here, and this one here, and some here, and that's not something you want. It's better now. I'm some chicken liver. As you can see, I'm in lazy mode today because I have nothing planned except my contact person, who will come in 4 hours, and I'm not out to her yet. So I'm not going to bother with dressing up today because I'll have to remove everything in a way. And she's pretty much the last person that I'm not out to yet. So that concludes this video, and I'll record my voice training. I'll record my voice training soon. So bye bye.